My house was destroyed by a tornado, so I went to my parents' place. My mom said, "Sleep in the shed. Your brother needs his face." So I called my old high school love a self-made millionaire. Nobody knew I still had her number when she showed up and said 3 words. My hands were shaking as I stared at the foundation of what used to be my home. The tornado took everything. The roof, the walls, my memories, all gone in 20 minutes. I only had my wallet, my phone, and the clothes on my back. Naturally, I drove to my parents' house. I thought family was supposed to be a safety net. I was completely wrong. When I arrived, the driveway was hacked. My golden child younger brother, Leo, was visiting with his friends. They were having a loud, laughing barbecue on the patio. I walked up covered in literal soot and dirt, looking for comfort. My mom met me at the door. She didn't even hug me. She just looked at my messy clothes with a frown. I told her my house was completely leveled. I told her I had nowhere else to go. She looked past me at Leo and his friends laughing. Then she turned back to me inside. "Look, there's no room inside," she said, her voice completely flat. "Sleep in the shed. Your brother needs his space and his friends are staying in the guest rooms." I stared at her, paralyzed. "The shed? Mom, it's 40 degrees outside. My entire life just blew away." "Don't be dramatic," she said, crossing her arms. "Leo is celebrating his new promotion. Don't ruin his weekend with your negativity. The shed has a cot." She literally closed the door in my face. I stood on the porch, freezing, listening to my family laugh inside. My chest felt tight. The disrespect wasn't just cold. It was a total betrayal. They treated me like a stray dog. I walked down to the driveway, sat on the curb, and pulled out my phone. My hands were trembling, but not from the cold anymore. It was pure freezing rage. I opened my contacts and scrolled to a number I hadn't dialed in 7 years. Maya. She was my high school love. We parted ways amicably when she moved across the country for college. Since then, she had built a massive tech logistics empire from scratch. She was a self-made multimillionaire, highly influential, and fiercely protective of the people she cared about. Nobody in my family knew we stayed in touch. They thought she was just a ghost from my past. I hit dial. She picked up on the second ring. "Hey!" Her voice was calm, but instantly warm. "Maya!" I choked out, my voice cracking despite my best efforts. "My house is gone. The tornado and my family just locked me out." The line went completely dead silent for 3 seconds. The warmth in her voice vanished, replaced by a terrifying, quiet gravity. "Where are you?" she asked. I gave her my parents' address. "Stay right there," she said softly. "I'm coming." 2 hours passed. My brother and his friends eventually came outside to load up their cars to go to an upscale downtown lounge. My parents followed them out, smiling and doting on Leo. Leo spotted me sitting on the curb in the dark. He laughed. "Hey man, don't freeze out here." "Oh wait, Mom said you have the shed. Enjoy the spiders." My parents didn't say a word to defend me. They just chuckled. Right then, the quiet night air was shattered by the low, powerful purr of a high-end luxury vehicle. A pristine, matte black custom SUV pulled up directly to the curb, blocking Leo's car completely. The door opened. Maya stepped out. She looked absolutely stunning, wearing a tailored black coat that practically screamed quiet, wealth, and absolute authority. She didn't look at my parents. She didn't look at Leo. Her eyes locked right onto my bruised, dirty face. My family froze. They recognized her instantly from business magazines and local news. Leo's jaw literally dropped. My mother took a step forward, her eyes wide with sudden, greedy realization. "Maya?" my mom stammered, putting on a fake, welcoming smile. "Oh my goodness, we didn't know you were—" Maya ignored her completely. She walked straight past my mother, stopped right in front of me, and reached down to take my hand. She pulled me up gently, her eyes scanning my shivering frame. She looked at my parents, then at Leo, and finally back to me. The sheer disdain in her eyes could have cut glass. She opened the passenger door of her SUV for me. Before I stepped inside, she turned around to face my entire family. She spoke only 3 words, but her voice carried the weight of a gavel slamming down in a courtroom. "He's mine now." The silence that followed was deafening. My mother opened her mouth to speak, to apologize, to backtrack, but Maya simply shut my door, walked around to the driver's side, and drove away without looking back. As we pulled down the street, I looked in the rearview mirror. My family was standing under the driveway light, looking incredibly small, completely powerless, and utterly ruined by their own cruelty. They lost a son, and they realized too late who held the real power. I'm never going back.